Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sweet Chain Live. I'm your host, not Matt Drake. My name is Morgan Hardeveld, and this evening I'm actually being joined by my lovely co-host off to this side, maybe this side, Mr. Arne Burgess. How are you, Arne?
I'm very well, thank you, mate. How are you?
Yeah, really good, mate. We've made it all the way to episode 212. They've set us free. They've given us the reins to the show. Matt could not be with us tonight. He's had a bit of a call out, so they've left it to us. So you know what? We'll try and keep the ship afloat and have a good show for all you lovely ladies and gentlemen in the chat. How's your week been, mate?
Busy week of work, mate. Yeah, body's recovering from Lords and Ladies last week. Not that it's overly strenuous course, but when you're 40 something years old and the knees aren't what they used to be, you have to
We
spend some recovery time.
Well, you know what? I'm going to put you through your paces this weekend at the Generation Open, but we'll save that for later in the show. I just want to kick things off at the top of the hour by saying congratulations to you. We've just gone through the AGM over on the NZDG the AGM. So, yeah, congratulations. You got voted in.
Yeah, I mean, no one ran against me, but it's always good to get those the percentage votes sort of in your favour. Gives you a good read on that everyone backs you. So some good support for all the candidates. I just want to I suppose take the moment to just give a quick apology on behalf of actually myself, because I've been acting secretary, but Ewan is way better at that stuff. And so in the sending out of all of the emails and the TD packs and the AGM packs and whatnot, he forgot to add the link to the AGM, and it only ended up on the NZDG Facebook page. And so the attendance, we got a quorum, but the attendance
you hit the number
probably
15. Yep.
Yeah, we hit the minimum 15. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, just apologies to those that were looking for it. Also, we weren't able to record, but yeah, we'll.
You weren't able to record, but you took down all the minutes. I could hear you typing away that entire time. So you've got a pretty good collection of notes from there. So if anyone wants to follow that up and see those, they'll be available, will they?
Yeah, we'll throw those up on the website, and once we get together as a new board and work out when the first board meeting is, we will reserve half an hour of that for the general membership as well, just to open the floor for any Q&A or structured questions for those that weren't able to get their point across or their feelings across during the AGM.
Cool. All right. And that's another point. Throughout the show, guys, if you weren't at the AGM, Arne is obviously available here. We obviously have a chat available to you. So please, even if you were in the AGM and you just couldn't quite get anything to mind at the time, we have the man at the table right now ready to answer your questions. We're going to save the AGM chat for just a little bit later in the show. We'll try and start off the show as we usually do. We do not have hot scores available this week, but what I would say to all you guys in the chat, if you do want to get your scores out there, let us know. Put them in the chat. We'll shout you out. We love to hear about all these 18 unders that apparently get shot every week somewhere around the country. So stick your hand up. Let us know.
Yeah.
And also, like, follow, subscribe. On the YouTube right now, where is it? We've got 454 subscribers right now. Something along the lines of 20% that are viewing every single week are not subscribed. We'd love you to hit that subscribe button. It helps us take the show to the next level, the next level, the next level. And if you are one of those people that really does like to support in a financial and a more positive way, we also have our Patreon available where you can get different insights and you get to see things through the website that everyone else doesn't get to see right away. So you'll get a little bit of insider scoop, if you will. So yeah, like, follow, subscribe, and jump on our Patreon if you would, please. But going through the show, guys, the Disc Golf Valley code is right above my head right here, EX2C. I only shot a 5 under par. I think the next best above me at the time was 7 down. So we'll bring up the results later in the show. But if you're watching on your computer, your laptop, your iPad, whatever, jump on your phone, get a game in, and let's see some hot scores coming in from Disc Golf Valley. What did you shoot, Mr. Burge?
I'm currently on hole 9 and I'm 3 over at the moment. It's been a shocker.
And that's about your third or fourth
Yeah,
time
third or
of
fourth
giving it a
time.
go, I reckon.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a few too many foot faults in there, eh?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah. We'll take that moment to bring that up. I haven't been watching too much disc golf this
No.
week, and to be honest, it's too bloody expensive in my opinion. It's too bloody expensive in my opinion to get the disc golf subscription, but a lot of people do have it. Have you been watching this week? Have you seen the drama unfolding?
So I do have think I have a disc golf tour pass. What is the disc golf network pass? Sorry, but for some reason I don't use it. I just watch highlights and things like that. So I didn't. I
Hmm.
followed along with the live scores and all that sort of stuff. And to be fair, it's gotten to the point where Kristen's been so good that I haven't been really following the female, the FPO. And then all of this drama erupted. So here's a question for you, bro. Have you ever called anyone on
Hmm.
a foot fault?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, get him. That's my opinion
Get
for
it?
sure. It happens a lot, eh? And like sometimes it's a real awkward one, especially in like a lower tier tournament, a C tier, where everyone's there just having a bit of fun. Obviously, there's people vying for titles and things like that, but it's a pretty contentious topic. It's pretty can be pretty hard for someone to make a call on, which likely is going to, in New Zealand, is going to be their friend, as it
Yeah,
would in
definitely.
disc golf. So I would call the hell out of you for a foot fault. I'll tell you that
Yeah,
right now, and I would expect nothing less
yeah,
from you in return. But
yeah.
it is a hard one. So Steve
Yeah,
Lawson just
so
in the chat there. I just caught that out the corner of
yeah,
my eye saying it was free for all PDJ members to watch this last weekend. Good to know.
good to know. um,
Better late than never.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, so have you seen the drama though?
Only a little bit, man. Just
Yeah.
just Facebook, just Facebook Shorts more than anything. The one thing I did see come from it was a new stamped disc in Kristen's range with a footprint on it, which had me in stitches.
And yeah, so the big thing that I suppose is the controversy is none of her card mates called it on her. It
Hmm.
was the marshal, and it was my understanding when I first saw it that a challenge of a foot fault had to be seconded. But I think potentially
Is
because it
that not
came
the
from a
case with a Marshall?
yeah, it mustn't be because I'm not overly sure that the others didn't call her on it, and I'm not sure they
Hmm.
seconded on it. But yeah, it just came at a really. She was on a charge in the last round, like she always is, and um, yeah, it is what it is, and she ended up that took a bit of the wind out of the sails. She ended up losing to Big Money
Yeah,
Missy
Missy
Ganny.
Gannon taking out the win. Yeah,
Mm.
she had when I last looked at it, just going into that final round, I think she had like two shots over the next three ladies who were almost tied up. Her, Paige Pierce, was it Owen Scoggins as well, right in there in the
Yeah,
mix?
Mushy's always up there, but
Yeah.
yeah, no. So a bit of controversy there, especially because in the MPO, there was. Do you remember at the start of this year they brought up that one of the changes of disc golf rules was that you were able to use photo and video evidence to support
Yep.
your rulings.
Hmm. Yep.
However, the um, the tournament director of this tournament said that Kristen wasn't able to use that to support because Kristen maintains that she had let go of the disc before she made the footfall.
Right.
Um, but they
Gotcha.
denied the use of the video footage because not all cards were being filmed. But then also,
Okay.
not all cards
Well,
were
I'll tell
being
you what.
marshaled.
Yeah. About video footage, I'm just looking over on our admin screen off to my left here, and I can see Tom actually has the video
Yeah.
queued up, ready to come up. Tom, do you want to chuck that up on the screen and we could have a quick watch of that? I'll see if I can. It's on screen now and playing. All right. Okay, great. We have audio. I can't hear that, but we trust the lovely chat can. Right, so he's lining up a nice forehand here. Oh yeah, clear as day, right? That disc moved before, I feel like before her arm even came past her body.
Watch this look.
That's on first.
Watch this look. There you go, right there.
So the marshal called that,
Yeah.
as you say.
And let's
Here
watch
we go.
where she releases.
Puts on the disc.
I don't
Oh
know if it's moved yet. Just moved.
God. I wish my screen was slightly bigger so I could see that.
There you go. She's
Oh,
still got it there. It's
I'm
definitely
not. I'm
moved.
not going to mess around with
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it's
So
yeah.
question: did she get the penalty stroke?
She did get, was it one or two? I believe it
I think it'll be one plus the throw, right?
one plus the throw. So yeah, I believe she did. Um, Not saying that that was the winning
Yeah.
and
Okay.
losing, but you know, as she sort of said, she was on a charge, and it sort of took the wind out of her sails a little bit. Yeah, but
Yeah. Well, these are the things you got to deal with as a professional athlete, right? It's a
100%.
it's a game, as most sports are, especially at the top end. It's a game of inches, and
Plus,
especially when you've only got that. We'll go back to metric, that A4 size 30 centimeter box to work with behind your disc.
yeah, but there's
You got to get it
that
right.
thing as well. Like she's the Kristen Lat, right? Like she's the best
Hmm.
female disc golfer in the world. The target's on the back. You know, there
Yeah.
was, as I said before, Andrew Marweed. There was some examples of him doing the same thing. No one called him on it, but he's not quite at the dominance level of Kristen. So,
Yeah. Sure.
yeah, I mean, I almost feel sorry for the marshal, to be honest, as well. Like, it takes a bit of balls
Well,
to call
that's
that.
yeah, I mean, just looking back to the call that was made on Nico 1 or 2 years ago, where he got all up in the grill of the course of the course marshal, the official, and I'm sure nobody wants that scene ever again.
See that
I am just going
the
to jump over to the
yeah,
I am just going to jump over to the chat really
yeah,
quick here.
sorry.
Uh, no, you're all good, man. Where has it gone? So
Time.
the butler, and I know we're going back a little bit here, but I'm going to shout out the
Yeah,
butler who said, "I got MA1 win at Hosker. Yay me, only beaten by Andy and tied with Josh G.
yeah, nice.
Neg 2, as usual, my trick is to have everyone else play bad. Nice." And Steve making a good point that it's only one frame and technically correct, but no way the marshal could be sure one stroke. So yeah, right.
Yeah,
Like it's the same in, I guess, if I was to compare it to baseball, where you've got the ump behind the catcher, and he's looking at his in his mind his little frame, and it can be just an inch out, an inch in, and you could still get the same call. It's one of those ones. These guys are officials. They put their hand up to be an official, and it's part of the game. So if
disc
you get
golf's,
called, you
you
get
know,
called, right?
disc golf's not at the point yet where we've got the, you know, the 3D imaging of the tennis when the tennis ball hits the line and they get a
Yeah.
challenge and then it zooms in on that and things like that. We're just not there yet. So, um, yeah,
Yeah.
it is what it
And
is.
Brett just making a point that it was, the timing of the only call made by a marshal over the weekend was just
Yeah,
awful, So we do feel sorry for her, but again, big ups to Big Money Missy for taking down the dub this weekend.
yeah, definitely. And then over the other
Right.
side,
Yep.
we need
Carry on.
to shout out a four-time major champion Isaac Robertson. No,
Booyah, baby.
that's
Booyah.
like he's sneaky. Doesn't do. Well, I'm not going to say he doesn't do anything during the pro tour, but then come to worlds and like
Major season, yeah.
he just pulls it out, which is yeah.
Well, didn't he win like his two world titles without even winning any other tournaments, major tournaments in between them? It
Yeah,
was
well,
something
he
crazy
won his
like that.
first Worlds. He won Champions Cup and Worlds in the same year. But there's some
Uh-huh.
ridiculous stat for his two Worlds because he won back-to-back Worlds where he was not leading for only one of the 11 or 12 rounds. So not only did he win Worlds he dominated it the entire time.
Yeah,
But yeah, a little bit sad because
yeah.
I love the old guys doing well, and Paul Macbeth was out in front after round one with 1,094 rated round, and then faded
Jeepers.
over the which was his highest rated round ever, or does he have an 1100? Surely that
I would
1800.
have. I would have to. I would have to look that
Yeah,
up.
yeah, okay. So yeah,
The 18 under you're talking of, yeah, surely that made it to 1100 status, right?
yeah, surely. Mm.
Surely.
Anyway,
Someone in the chat will be able to tell us. Someone who's in the know on disc golf. Maybe the Butler, Brett Carlisle, Jake Meikle. What's your take, boys?
yeah, there you go. It's
Good to
Paul's
see you
highest
guys in the
major
chat as well.
rating. Yeah, highest rating in
There
a
you
major.
go.
Mm.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
So looking back at hot scores, as we say,
Mm.
from last weekend, we're going to head over to no, we're not going to go over there. I'm getting ahead of myself because I've just looked over and seen the page that Mr. Tom has ready for us. I'm sorry, I've jumped ahead. We're going to go back to the AGM, guys. We've announced your chairman, who's sat right in front of us. Absolutely blessed to have him on the show, but he will not be just running the disc golf in the country on his own. He comes in with a number of other people. And Mr. Burge, I'd love for you once Thomas puts this up on the screen to introduce your new board for 2025.
Yeah, awesome. So we have a new member of the board this year. Some random fellow named Simon Feasy. Must be new to the game. Never heard of him before.
You must
Must be
be.
new. So good to see some new blood in the sport. No, well done to Simon. Um, and obviously he serves as the PDGA rep for New Zealand. And there'll need to be a little bit of a conversation about how that role sits, and whether he
Yep.
can do both and whatnot. But there'll be a number of us doing two roles. So well done to Simon. Treasurer Matt Pritchard, amazing guy to work with. You know Matty? You
Yeah,
know
for
Matty,
sure.
right?
Very, very well. Yeah.
Yep.
No, Matt for probably closing in on 9, 10 years now. Yeah, man, he's a mathematical wizard, right? Is that a fair way to put it?
Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah, so well done to Matt. Only three no votes, which is pretty incredible. But unfortunately, he was pipped at the post as the most liked board member because Ewan got one more yes vote and one
One
less
more
no
vote.
vote. So yeah, look. I've said it many times. Ewan Craig is the hardest working guy in disc golf. The things that he did for New Zealand disc golf this year, we can list them off like time and time again, but just know that on top of like a dude that works 60-hour weeks and has a family and is a pretty bloody good dad too, to be able to pull off what he did this year is like the dude's an absolute superhuman, you know. So well
Yeah,
done
and
to him.
that was a bit of a part of him stepping down from chair, right, and like putting his name forward for the secretary role. He still wanted to be involved with NZDG, and he'll still be putting in a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah.
But the chairman role obviously comes with probably a heftier time commitment, right?
I'm hoping my wife isn't watching.
She definitely is. Hey, Bex.
But yeah, look, it's. I suppose it's just and Ewan's one of those guys that he said it on the AGM, an apology to the board for all the very late hour crazy ideas that he came up with and had to run by everyone. Um, yeah, and it's just the pressure of what next. He's one of those guys, so I think he
Yeah,
just needed to
yeah.
give himself a little bit of a break. He originally did say that stepping away completely was his preference, but we have some unfinished business, and he asked me if I would consider running for chair, and I managed to convince him. I said, look, I'll put my hand up if you do. So really proud to be working with my mate coming into the next year.
Yeah,
So
so you guys are a bit of a team, right? Like you're obviously originally, well, not originally, but previously from
yeah,
Christchurch. Um, and had a lot to do with Ewan up there. And since moving to Queenstown, not a lot's changed other than the calls and chats are mostly over the phone and video call rather than in person, right? You
Yeah,
guys
yeah.
really want to work a lot together.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we come up with all these ideas and we
Yeah,
laugh at it, but then we sort of one or two of them we move to the next stage. So yeah, very good mate of mine. One of those guys that, probably similar to you and Adam, right? It just works. I'm so I
yeah,
suppose it sounds like I'm talking about him like he's my lover, um,
he
and
is.
potentially my wife thinks
Sorry
that.
again, Bex.
But yeah, just one of those guys that you go to war with, So really proud to be working alongside him. But not to layer too much onto him. Uh, Kelvin Cummings coming back for a second year in the outreach role.
I think that's huge, eh? Calvin's clearly made some leaps and bounds, some big strides this year with NZDG, and not only just with NZDG, down at the Dunedin Disc Golf Club with WFC, the amount of work we're seeing him and Marie, his partner, who's not on the board, but those two, husband wife, working together on absolutely everything.
Yeah, it's kind
I've
of
been super impressed by Calvin.
yeah, I mean, it's awesome to have him back on the board, but it really pisses me off because he's gotten exponentially better at disc golf than I have. Like,
I was wondering where you're going with that.
he 2 years ago when we first met in the skins match at Wahitapu, um, I would say that I thought I was the better disc golfer than him, but I mean, he won all the money with a miracle shot, but
Yeah,
and
it was
he's
awesome.
now he's won a tournament. He's always top six, top 10, and his
Yeah.
round ratings are going through the roof. So I don't know what it is. No
You'd have to
practice.
bring it up. But I mean, yeah, they're doing heaps of work in the community, man. I
Yeah,
mean, even down to for the last couple of weeks or the last week and a half, they've been posting on the WFC preview videos for this weekend's Generation Open. Him and Marie went up there and they filmed every hole, telling people the shot selections that should work for each hole, and just they're putting that content out there, which I guess still comes under outreach.
yeah, yeah.
I suppose it all sort of comes together, and I really think he's done a fantastic job, and I'm very excited for him to
Yeah.
come back and be on the board with you guys.
He's obviously the juniors NZDG juniors initiative was definitely Ewan's baby. But the
Yeah,
growth that guys like him, clubs like Disc Golf Topor, um, clubs like Christchurch and what they're doing in the juniors, all Ewan's initiative did was help access some of the different areas. So there was an event in Wanaka and, you know,
yeah,
so I mean, Calvin ran one in Dunedin, but he didn't need to. Their junior numbers were already strong back thanks to their work. And so,
yeah,
like, I think juniors as a concept comes under outreach and growth of the game and whatnot. So, a, a good director doesn't need to be at the driver's wheel the entire time. He just needs to be there, encouraging the work, taking part of it, and that's what Calvin did. So, yeah.
yeah. No, fantastic. And during the AGM, I had to step out obviously for a second there to take one of those really fun work phone calls I get every now and again in the
Yeah,
evenings. I missed the part where you guys went over the
questions.
No, I was actually just going to go past the motions for 1 second to bring up Charlotte
Oh,
Dunkley, who
yes.
got the
Contribution
the
to Disc
award
Golf World. Yeah.
contribution to disc golf. Yeah, that's the one. I think super deserving person there.
Yeah.
She got something about 60% of the votes, was it?
68%. Yeah.
68.7% of the votes. Yeah, and Loren Botha being in my mind, equally as deserving, coming in with 31.3%. But yeah, the people have spoken. Charlotte Dunkey, congratulations. You got their contribution to Disc Golf Award for New Zealand and NZDG this year.
I don't think there's much. Look, I mean, two pretty good candidates there. Two
Yep.
wahine as well, two women, which is awesome.
Hmm.
But I don't think anyone's going to begrudge that award going to Charlotte.
No.
Lorraine's done some amazing stuff, and is always there, always plodding along on a deck chair at Jelly Park on a Sunday, on top of all
Yep.
the work that she does for the Christchurch Disc Golf Club. But
Yep.
yeah, when we came into the NZDG board last year, you and I were very interested in what does growing the game mean. Like, everyone talks about grow the game, grow the game, grow the game,
Hmm.
but no one really had an idea or a fixed idea about what it was. We had a huge amount of male adult players. We didn't have a huge amount of junior players. We didn't have a huge amount of female players. And so to have someone that's delivering female only events year in, year out, not just during Women's Global event,
Yep.
that's awesome. So well done to Charlotte.
Yeah. Big ups.
Mm.
But yes, and then I will just go back right now to the motions above, actually, and I will again. I'm just going to leave this to you. This is your domain, obviously. But if you just want to run through those really quickly, and I'm not trying to get you to double up on what we've just gone over in the
Yeah, no,
AGM,
that's cool.
but there is a few people here that were not there.
Yeah,
So
no,
yeah,
that's cool. So yeah, I put in a director's motion because everyone very vocal about the word sandbagger, sandbagger. So I put in a director's motion about not just coming up with a number, not just picking a number out of thin air, but actually going through a process of, hey, do we need to look at the PDGA recommended ratings for amateur divisions and bring them down slightly so that they're a little bit more nuanced towards New Zealand disc golf. And
yeah, just in line with disc golf's level and
yeah,
standard
yeah,
here,
yeah,
right?
exactly. So,
Yeah.
and the PDGA have encouraged us over the last year to do that. But what I didn't want to do, as I said, is just say, I play MA2 or MA40, dependent on who's playing or how hard the course is or what tour is. It would have been real easy for me to sit there and go, well, I'm 850 rated. So MA2 now is 851 and above.
Yeah,
You know,
I bit my tongue. I think it was last week actually when we were talking
yeah,
about this ratings, Matt and I was just like, you watch it come in a stroke or two ahead of his rating.
yeah, yeah.
Oh goodness me. Yeah,
No,
no, I
so
totally agree. I absolutely agree and definitely voted yes on this
yeah,
because I think we really do need to bring it back in line with the standard of play that we have in New Zealand. And not saying that it's any lower.
yeah,
The spread is just a lot different to what it is with a higher
yeah.
population density offshore in the
Well,
States.
actually, what we want to do as well is we want to offer clubs and TDs the opportunity to understand what divisions they should be offering,
Hmm.
because they will know their player base based on who has entered their tournaments in the past. Um,
Yeah.
and so by putting out these recommended ratings, they could look back at last year's tournament and go, well, we had X amount of players below this rating. So
Yeah.
actually they fit more into an MA4 rather than an
Hmm.
MA3. And to be able to decide around that. One thing the PDGA were very clear about is that there needs to be almost an uncapped tier for amateur and professional. So everyone should have the option to,
MA1. Yep.
yeah, so MA1 is the top amateur division, I suppose.
Yep.
And obviously it
Yeah.
gets to the point where once they get high, so I think the US rating's like 970 or something like that.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
But we've
Yeah, you're
only
pretty much
got
bang on there.
probably what 15 players in the country above 970, if that. So um
Yeah, it's probably a couple more than that, but not too many. You're definitely in the right region.
yeah, so yeah, we will probably shoulder tap some very smart people like Mr. Drake to do a bit of data mining and find out, based on previous tournaments over the last couple of years, what the average rating of the top five positions in each one was and things like that. So we'll put some statistical analysis towards it, potentially something that the what's the data analytics team's new name? Mm.
No idea. Didn't
The
realize it
spokesperson's
changed.
not here. So yeah, give them some work to do. I think would be a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was that one. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, the
And
next one.
then the draft strategy for NZ Disc Golf as a working document.
Yeah, look, we've as I said, we came into our last season as a board, and we couldn't really pin our sort of thing down about where the sport was going. What does grow the sport
Yep.
mean? Where do we want to go? Um, Yeah, so we had myself and Matt Pritchard have been working on a strategy throughout the year, and it's probably more around the key theme around it is just getting baskets in the ground.
Sure.
Really, is getting more disc golf, more places, more often, is sort of where we want to go, and the PDGA stuff will come out of that, right? Because it's
Yeah.
so easy to run a tournament.
Was
Yeah,
the Waikato course that's going in now,
yeah.
which is being supported by PDJ? Is that like a bit of a catalyst to actually looking to more of these regions that are missing disc golf that we may not have even realized without, peeling back the layers?
Yeah, I mean, one thing that they'll say pretty openly is NZDG don't have anything to do with the growth of disc golf in New Zealand. It really comes down to the clubs because we
Hmm.
don't pay for courses, we don't maintain courses, we don't install courses. I think we had a hand in installing Topol years and years ago, but really it's about the clubs. And
Yeah.
so the more support, and so like Waikato, maybe they didn't have a course because there wasn't anyone there to look after a course or anyone there to apply for funding to put in a course.
Yeah.
Maybe the council just weren't that open to it. Um, so the big credit's got to go, I suppose, first and foremost to Disc Golf Waikato, is setting themselves up as an entity and being an affiliated club. That's
Yep.
one.
What's
Um,
the gentleman's name there? He was just in the AGM. Can we shout him out? Yeah,
Tim
started
G.
with G.
Yeah,
I'm Gemmel,
German,
or something like that.
German.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry if I'm getting that wrong.
yeah,
But yeah, I did just want to shout him out because he even was a little bit vocal in the AGM there, just thanking you guys as well. So yeah, shout out to you, sir.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that's potentially where we want to go to, and right, and we've got a huge number of clubs now around the country, so it's about supporting them to grow disc golf around the country.
Yep.
And yeah, we were supported by the PDGA. Obviously, it was an initiative that Nate Perkins first talked to the PDGA about. So it's gone through a number of hands. So many different. Was it many hands make light work? So well
Yeah.
done to.
Yeah.
But yeah, credit's going to be to
To
Disc Golf
Tim
Waikato.
Gorman.
Tim
Sorry.
Gorman. That's it.
Tim Gorman. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, you. And I
yeah.
just realized I thought my chat had disappeared, but it was just minimized
German.
there.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out Tim. Yeah. Okay, mate. So is there anything else? Obviously, you've already gone through the AGM tonight. Is there anything that's sort of come to mind for you that you do want to bring up before we sort of close out any AGM chat since doing the
There'll
AGM all of
be, I
42
suppose,
minutes ago?
yeah. Um, there'll be a lot to come in the disc golf sphere. We purposefully had the AGM at the start of May because we wanted to give the new board some weeks leading into the new disc golf tour season. Um,
Hmm.
this next tour season is going to be a wee bit weird because we are going to go through a wee bit of a change around. All PDGA tournaments will come under the oversight or banner of NZDG. That was an encouragement of the PDGA. But
So
we're not going to.
any sanction, sorry, I'm just going to
Yep,
pause you on that.
yep.
Any PDGA sanctioned tournament in New Zealand
Hmm.
needs to be sanctioned via NZDG. Is that correct?
Yes, but we are going to give the disc golf public a lead in. So at the moment, we will go live with that rule from September 1 at the moment,
Okay.
just to give those tournaments that are already in the on disc golf scene or whatnot, some time to get used to it and to feedback on their opinions on things. It has already been passed by the board and it has been supported by the PDGA. This will include one dayers, but we will have exemptions available. So if you're running a fundraiser or a have a go day type event, you can apply for an exemption, so you don't have to go through that sanctioning. Or
Are the levies changing from the model that we've already seen recently of $5 or $7 a person per player per event
yes,
to anything different? Can you just
yep.
touch on that, please?
So at the moment, the proposed fee that's been agreed to by the board is going to drop all the way back down to $2 per player per tournament. And
Okay.
it will be capped at a maximum of, I think it's 100 for a C tier, 125 for a B tier, and 150 for an A tier.
$100 or 100 players?
$100. So you will not pay
Okay,
any
so
more than
tournament,
$100
so
for
yeah, sure.
yeah.
So tournament directors, like myself, will be charging, if we have a full field, we'll be giving you a maximum $100 on a C tier, and then we can sort of take that price off of entry fees if we can,
Yeah,
basically.
exactly. So I mean, under the current tour policy, that is $5 per player and it is not capped.
Yeah.
So for 100 players, that would be a $500 fee. Under the
So
new
I
proposal, for 100 players, it would still be a $100 fee.
I have a couple questions on
Yep.
that. What is going to be missing from what players, TDs, events we're getting before to now, since that price has dropped so dramatically? What's been cut out of the
Yeah,
equation?
yeah. So that is, we'll be going through and reviewing the media grants policy. We haven't made any decisions on what will change with that. But essentially, the membership structure, the proposal is that the current membership structure is basically not fit for purpose. So, under the current policy, everyone that plays in an NZDG Tour tournament becomes an automatic member.
Yep.
Under the new policy, you would have to be a member. You would have to individually join up like you join a club, become an NZDG member as an individual to play a tournament. So that would
And will
become, it
that
wouldn't
come
happen
with a
automatically.
cost as well? Will
Yeah,
that be a
so
cost to the player?
yeah, so Matt's going to go through a wee bit of a cost analysis about how we price that, but it'll be similar to what you pay for your club fee. So that will
Sure.
cover up the shortfall, um, and hopefully gain a little bit more to make some of our investments that we're going to be making around a general manager, and or our new sporty platform, which is going to come at a pretty price year on year. So
Yeah. And
um,
and so just speaking of a pretty price,
mm,
a pretty price the NZDG is going to be paying for these things that we want to do, or you guys want to do. Steve Lawson is asking the question: is that sustainable for NZDG, or will it require new or additional fundraising sources?
yeah, it depends on the number of things that we want to prioritize, I suppose. So um, we if we want to introduce a new thing that we want to invest in, we're obviously going to have to make more money. So
Yeah.
Matt has been successful in applying for grant funding to pay for half of Sporty for the
Hmm.
first year, which is amazing. And we'll continue to look for funding opportunities, I suppose, and sponsorship and things like that. But essentially, it is sustainable for the current investment pathway, so to speak.
Sure. Yeah.
Mm.
The strategy that you guys are working towards
Yeah,
or
basically.
working
So
with. Yeah.
essentially, what it is going to be is at the moment. So for last year, or for this current season, we're going to end up with 29 tour events, paying a range of fees between I don't know, $250 all the way up to $700, $800, $900.
Yeah.
However, there were approximately 60 sanctioned PDGA tournaments. And so there were about 30 tournaments that did not sort of invest into New Zealand disc golf, so to speak. They're obviously playing their own
Yeah.
part in the growth of the game. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to make that investment equitable across the board. But yeah, so
Yeah, sure. And I
sustainability, we
mean,
believe
just
it's there.
yep. I mean, Matt Pritchard, treasurer for NZDG, obviously runs all the numbers, and if it wasn't fit for purpose, then he would have raised his hand and said so. Pretty quick, smart, I would imagine. So Brett Carlisle,
Yep.
sorry, Burge.
Yep.
Brett Carlisle in the chat saying, so mandatory NZDG sanctioning for all PDJ events.
Mm-hmm.
What do players or TDs get for that?
Yep.
Isn't it just going to limit the amount of sanctioned golf played and push more TDs to go non-sanctioned? Just to start off there, I'm going to say yes, very likely, in my opinion, that a lot of TDs will go and start running some non-sanctioned things.
Yes.
I don't think that's a bad thing. There has been quite a call for unsanctioned tournaments from what I've experienced over the last few years,
Mm-hmm.
and we don't see too much of it. And I think it really sustains the grassroots level of the game
Mm-hmm.
and the introduction of disc golf to players that are, for lack of a better way to explain it, nervous to join a professional tournament, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of my take on that there.
Mm.
And his just going back into the middle of his question there, going, what do players or TDs get for that?
Yeah, so there's a couple of things around the value add. Is if I'm wholly honest, I believe that for the $5 current, $5 without $7 with, I believe, current
Yeah,
per player per tournament fee,
insurance.
I don't believe that that value add or that value proposition is there. I don't think tournament
Mm-hmm.
directors and players do get value for money out of that amount.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the first step, is we need to bring that down. We came into our last board year saying that that's what we were going to do. And we didn't get it done in that year, but we're going to do it this year. The other thing around...
I totally agree with that too, because I was one of those people asking that question is because I was running so many tournaments, I wanted to know, like, where is this $5, the $600 that I'm sending every event here actually going? So it is good to see that you guys are taking the initiative and listen to the people and sort of making a stride in one way or another to make the change. And yeah, I'm happy for it.
The real crux about why people play in a PDGA sanctioned event compared to a non-sanctioned event really comes down to the player rating. That's what you're playing for, is the disc golf version of a handicap. And so without NZDG or some entity that would replace NZDG, that the PDGA accepted, that would not be governed within New Zealand. And so the growth of the game and the management of PDGA tournaments, PDGA want governed by NZDG. So essentially, we see the $2 per player per tournament plus the capping gives a surety of TDs that they're not, if they are really successful in getting a 200 player tournament, they're not necessarily going to be punished for having too many players. They can budget, they can look at their tournament and know that the maximum that they're going to pay is X amount. So that's good. It gives assurances to the player that the TDs are well looked after, so hopefully the entry fees are well looked after. We will maintain things around, trying to ensure that we get, as I said, we're going to review the media grants policy, but we are having to bring in Sporty to manage our database, membership base, records, so on and so forth. That sort of software doesn't come at a cheap price. Running an AGM costs hundreds of dollars. And so there are running costs for NZDG. We do need that money. And what we said is $2 represents a reset. I would I would assume that in the years to come, that fee, whether it be per player per tournament or within the membership structure, I would assume that it would go up as we start to build our investment base. If we start investing in more professional things and
Yeah,
better player experiences, then more genius programs, more females programs, more amateur programs, coaching, high performance, all that sort of stuff is going to come at a price. So,
yeah.
but at the moment we don't have that, so we can't justify a $5 per player per tournament uncapped fee.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just going to put a pause on this because I feel like this conversation. I'm looking at some of the chat, and I absolutely agree with a number of it. I think there's a lot of what we need to do is wait and see how this sort of plays out over the next, I don't know, weeks, months, and then obviously when Matt's back in the show, we can sort of break this down a little more. I've brought you on the show tonight to be my co-host. I'm not trying to interview the hell out of you. I appreciate you going through all of these details that we've got here. But I think now the NZDG has established the new board, actually getting up and running and putting these initiatives into play is something we need to let happen. We've voted you guys in for a reason. You guys were supported basically across the board. No pun intended. You guys were absolutely supported, and we just need to let you do what we've voted you in to do, and we'll see how things shake out, and we'll make our comments on future shows.
By all
So
means,
yeah,
don't follow blindly. Like this is discussion that is happening in amongst a set of individuals, and I've played a decent amount of disc golf across both islands over the last year, and had opinions given to me by a number of different people, and all of them shaped my thought. Um, Me and you agree and disagree on a lot of stuff when it comes to disc golf
yeah,
tournaments.
yeah,
And some of
definitely,
it, all of that has shaped me. All of the conversations that I had in Topol shaped me, all that sort of stuff. So if you've got an opinion, look, you don't have to run for the board. Just send me an email. I
yeah.
might not answer
I
it,
mean,
and but I'll take it on board.
yeah, for sure. I mean, you could be getting dozens and dozens of emails. You got to deal with your work life on top. But
Mm.
as long as you are reading them, taking them on board, and maybe the ones that are really standing out, actually taking that to the rest of the board. So just remember, guys, that is something you can do. All of these guys on the board have been and are still always contactable. All their details are at the NZDG website. So what is the website, Arne? Is it www.nzdg.co.nz? Sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
Org.nz. .org.nz.
nzdg.org.nz. Yeah, cool. So all of the details are on there, along with all of the information from the AGM will be uploaded there. The agendas and everything you guys are up to over the next 12 months will be on the website. So it's free for the public to see and have their say on.
Oh, well.
Cool. Right, we're gonna hit the brakes on the AGM right there. Give you a bit of a break until we get to potentially your scores of the last weekend's tournament. We're gonna kick things off with the Lords and Ladies of Lismore. I'm gonna open it up on this page as well. Where that is disconnection on my page. Apologies, and that is not it either. Stand by, ladies and gentlemen. Burge, how was your weekend last weekend?
Mate, it's amazing weather. Like it was cold in the mornings, but not a breath of wind for most of the day, both days. They managed somehow to squeeze two courses into Lismore.
Yeah,
Two
that was
courses.
kind of shocking. That was kind of shocking to me, right? Because
Yeah,
that's such an excellent 18-hole course
yeah.
up there at Lismore Park. Like I love it. It's
Mm,
one of my more favored places to play in the
mm.
country. So when I did see the layout with two courses, one up on the upper end and one on the lower end, I was like actually kind of shocked that they managed to do that. How did that work out?
So I think it flowed pretty well. There wasn't much in the way of backups. The only time there were backups was at the big hexagon T pad that they have there. Got
Yes,
really
yeah,
awesome
the
one.
multi T pad. Yep,
Yeah, so there's obviously a hole playing one way and a hole playing the other way. And so there was a
yep,
little bit of a backup there from time to time, but nothing more than sort of 10 minutes. There was some pretty good courtesy shown by cards because there were some holes that sort of threw over top of the fairway of another one. So there's a bit of
Yep.
giveaway going on there. But you had your bottom course, which was a lot of your normal 18 hole course was in there, a lot more open. And then you had it up the top where shorter and a lot of them in the trees, which was
And those trees up in the
yeah,
top left-hand corner there. Yep.
yeah.
Or
Yeah.
top
So,
middle, I
but
suppose.
they were short holes, but they probably had to be short holes because there's so many bloody trees.
Yep.
And
Yeah. That's
look, I
it's
don't
always
think
been a great tournament over there too.
yeah. And look, it wasn't birdie or die. I mean, I know that it looked like that in the MPO results, but
Yep.
it was, I think, 13s and 14s, maybe 11 unders, so
Yep.
maybe that is birdie or die.
Yeah, no, I mean, if we just shoot over and look at the MPO results to start, and the Hunter brothers, Daniel and Jamie, taking the top two spots there.
Yeah,
Daniel's shooting 40 under par for the weekend. As you said, it's not birdie or die,
yeah,
but man, there's some hot golf being played in there. A couple of rounds over 1,000 rated, namely round two, shooting a 43 and a 41 actually in round two was the 43, and in round three he shot a 41, which is slightly better, but slightly lower rated, which is just entails other players playing slightly better in round three.
yeah. So they played the same layouts as I did. So they played blue, gold, blue, gold. So the blue was definitely the easier course, more open.
Ah, right,
And
gotcha.
so, yeah, so a lot of people scored quite well. Yeah,
Yep.
so, but yeah,
When
shout
you
out
say
to
blue gold, I'm assuming blue gold isn't one course. You're saying they played the blue
blue
round
and then
one,
the
gold
gold.
round
Yeah, yeah.
two, blue then gold. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay, I'm
yeah.
with you.
So 4 rounds total, and yeah, but yeah. Look, they do. Disc Golf One is going to do they do a pretty decent job. There was plenty to do. Coop's out there with his Cooper Solace with his what does he do? The stew on the bread lunch,
Oh yeah.
and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, great golf. But yeah, Daniel Hunter, man, I wish Matt was here because I think that was his first MPO win.
Well,
I think so. Yeah, yeah. He pushed.
I would not be surprised. I don't
Yeah,
think we've called that before, but yeah, if Daniel, that's your first win, very big ups to you, mate. And that's a big tournament to do it in too, because you had the hot favorite Francis Orange, who's finished up in third place there.
it's four. I think
You know,
the other three were in MA1 because he's only just transferred to MPO. So
yeah,
um, yeah, pushed Levi all the way at Seafarer as well, and then goes and gets the
yeah,
scalp of Francis, which is pretty awesome.
yeah. We're gonna
And
see if he goes back to back this weekend.
there's a
Over at
local.
Generation Open. Yeah, he is local. Him and his family are always up at Ohau playing that course, so I'm pretty interested to see what they can do. Yeah, him in first, Jamie in second, Francis fourth, Jin Cato in Francis in third, Jin in fourth. So a big shout out to Generations Jin Cato. We'll take that opportunity to say that. But he was having a pretty spicy tournament until that last round, unfortunately, where he sort of took the foot off the pedal, off the gas, if you will,
Yeah,
and let those other guys overtake him,
yeah.
unfortunately. But yeah, good showing by Team Generations Gin. Heading down to FPO, where we do see the local legend in Haley Flintoff at minus 22 under par, taking down the win, followed by Invercargill's Alison Tweedy, and then from the North Island, Michelle Simpson holding out third place over Nicola and Echo.
Michelle's Christchurch
Later
based
on in the
now.
show, is she?
Yeah.
Apologies. Welcome
Mhm.
to the South, Michelle.
Before we move
Later in
on
the show,
from FPO,
we're not going to move on from FPO
yeah,
just yet. I'm just going to say later in the show we are going to see a little bit of a shuffle in the power rankings. So keep an eye out for that coming up at the tail end of the show.
but did you
FPO aren't.
did you see the thing on Insta the other day about Nicola getting a international
Yes.
accolade in
Yes, she did.
the
Yes.
FP or F50?
Yeah, FP 40 or 50.
Yeah,
Yeah, top 10 or something, wasn't it?
I think it was the top in the world for that division, I
You
believe.
know, you know what? I think you're absolutely
Yeah,
correct, and I think it was just like eighth or ninth down the list, but it was all the different age
age
brackets,
groups.
wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, And I've made that sound a lot worse than it is. But yes, big shout out to Nicola, man. She has been killing it out there for so long, holding down the 4th spot this weekend in FPO. But yeah, she's the leader of the Stout tribe, right?
Yep. The brains behind the machine.
Right. Yes, she is. Although Mr. Brian Stout might have something to say about that. MP40 and another local legend, and Dom Hayden holding off Matt Pritchard of NZDG and Jeremy Hills, also from over the hill over in Wanaka. But Dom shooting a spicy 35 under par, followed by 33 for Matt and 31 for Jeremy. That's some pretty sick golf from those gents. Were they playing blue gold as well?
Yeah, they're playing the same layout. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
So at 35 under, he's coming in at third equal, right?
Yeah.
In open.
Yeah.
And probably overall almost. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So and I mean, a 6-person MP40 division, and Mikey U is down the bottom of it. Right. That is some top quality.
Almost
golf.
Unexplainable. Yeah, that's almost unexplainable, because not seeing Mikey even in the on the podium is very, very rare, right?
Yeah. I mean, the rest are all Wanaka except for Hemi. So, and Hemi and Mikey are always head to head, right? So,
yeah, they are. And Matt Pritchard shooting the hot round of 42,000 rated in round 1 there. Hot round for MP40, that is, for the weekend.
And he was ATD. He didn't get the curse.
Yep. He didn't. Well, maybe he did, and he should have won by like another 5 strokes. He should have been at 40 down.
Yeah,
right?
True. Yeah.
41 down. He would have won the tournament with 8 strokes.
Yeah.
MA1, Mr. Joel Maunder and Mr. Henry Boyle. Now, I got asked the question the other day, what happened here? Actually, it was by Tom, producer Tom in the background here. Both guys shot 35 under par. Joel is obviously won a playoff, Burge.
I think those two went to the fight. They had a big 4 or a big gun shootout.
They both shot the same in the final. Though. They both shot 15.
Yeah, I played pretty trash the entire weekend. So as soon as my last round finished, I jumped in the car and headed back to Queenstown. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty grumpy.
When you're doing the tournament manager after an event, though, you do have to tick the box if one player did win a playoff, and that's the only way that it's going to show first and second. Okay. So on the show tonight, we're going to assume that Mr. Joel Maunder has won a playoff, equaling the 35 under of Henry Boyle, but taking him and pipping at the post. And then these guys shooting, well, whatever the score was better. Ben Quinn coming in 3rd, Riley Bruce 4th, Kyle Barringer in 5th, along with Coops and Bailey Gardner. Notable position there for Bailey Gardner, the young fella, right?
Well, this is, I look at that and I know that going into it, Bailey Gardner was the Sweet Chain tipping favourite.
He was.
Which means that Joel Maunder would have been paying a pretty penny. I'm wondering if anyone ended up getting any coin on him. Which would have been interesting.
I will tell you something ironic that I think I just realised. Earlier, I was on the Sweet Chain Tipping website, and I actually think I seen Bailey Gardner bet on Joel Maunder for this weekend.
Fixed. It's fixed. Oh.
It's a fix. He's obviously seen something over the weekend. We're going to head down to FA1, where Hannah Joint takes the keys, and she beats out Rowan Simmons by a stroke, shooting 6 over par. Nikki Day in 4th. Kate Picathley in 4th place. Nikki Day in 3rd, sorry. Getting my 3s and 4s mixed up tonight. I'm having a hard time with them. It's Russ King, MA40 champion, Lords and Ladies Lismore this weekend. He's stolen this one. He's pulled the rug out from under Lance Easton, who was leading the tournament with a spicy 44 first round, 971 rated. And then he seemed to have really fallen off in round 3, shooting an 821 rated round. I have no idea what happened on Saturday evening, but I did just see a video on Facebook earlier of a very large bear, Lance. Did that have anything to do with how you shot in that 3rd round, my friend? But Russ King taking down the win, followed by Lance and Ben Thompson of Lake Hawea in 3rd. Wanaka local.
Yeah, just scroll.
Headed
Just
down to FA4.
keep scrolling. Don't bother stopping, please.
Coming in at 19th place, Arnbird. No. FA40 sees Marie Cummings with an absolutely decisive win over Tui Smith. 8 over for Marie. Bloody awesome shooting. As I said, she's out there every day, week in, week out with Calvin practicing. They're both getting equally better at the same time.
100%.
So, good job, Marie. MA50, Wayne Brown. Now, I didn't tip on this, Burge, but I did think this might happen.
Yeah.
Wayne Brown has quite a bit to do in that neck of the woods, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, he is the reason one of the reasons I should say there is Lake Hawea Disc Golf.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, and I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I know he had a big hand in, I believe, the financing or the fundraising for the financing of that course and helping that get in the ground.
Yeah.
The whole family spends a lot of time in Hawea, so he is not native to the land, but he does spend a lot of time there. So shout out Wayne Brown shooting 14 under par, beating out Mark Tebbett, who I bet on every single week until he gets beaten. He takes the second place spot this weekend along with Mr. Bevan Colley. They've both shot. Oh, I see. Mr. Tebbs has gone into finals. Yeah, okay. So they're both at 12 under, but Tebbs has gone into the finals. That's why their score is slightly different.
Yeah, awesome. Cool.
MA60, Wayne Doyle takes the keys over James Smithers and Rob Kent. He shoots 2 over, beating out James by 6 shots, and then a couple more down to Rob. MA2, the hardest division to pick on Sweet Chain, tipping every single week. Troy Broad with 24 under par. What is Troy's rating? I need to open 847. Sorry, it's right in front of me.
847. So he's gone almost 100 over, well over 100 over, 30 or 40 over, and then almost 130 or 40. Man. Oof. I'm not gonna open his. He lives across the road. Don't even know who Troy is, but he lives across the road. Yeah.
Yeah, my money was on Joe Ball this weekend, as it pretty much always is in MA2, because he's always near the top or at the top, but he's beaten out by 11 strokes by Troy this week. Mark Von Roy coming in 3rd place. And then down in FA2, Casey Eder, 21 over, taking out Deb Hunter by 1 stroke at 22, and Robin Agnew holding down the end of the carriage there in FA2. MA4, Jack Dahlstrom. I have a question. Is that Mikey Dahlstrom from Queenstown, or is it a different person?
No. So I didn't realise that there was another Dahlstrom, but there was a guy that was playing that looked real like Mikey. So I'm going to assume that that's Jack and it's his brother or cousin or something.
Yeah, exactly. They do look the same. I've seen him on Facebook as a recommended friend, and I wasn't too sure. But Jack taking it down with 18 under par. We'll see him moving up to MA3, MA2, and potentially MA1 at the next tournament, I'm sure.
Next name. Look at the
Graham
next name.
Hearn.
Look at the next winner of the next division.
Oh, stand by. Graham Hearn shooting 3 under and Tony Lynch taking out 3rd at 2 under. Those guys having a bit more of a battle with each other. And then headed down to FA4, where Marane Tweedy is on the course, ladies and gentlemen.
Can I tell you that there was no less than 6 of the Tweedy troop that played, including obviously Jeff. But I think Claudia was one of the boys' girlfriends, partners, maybe. So 6 of them playing one tournament.
Geez, it's it's quite a bit like the Hunter family, right? Where they're all traveling around in one car playing disc golf. Is that going to be the new family that's on the block? And we know they've always been there, but with Marane on the course, is the tide going to turn and we're going to see a new powerhouse family of disc golf?
Well, she was the only one of the family to win a trophy.
Oh. I wonder if she let them know on the drive home. Going down into MJ18, and Cole Russellman takes 2 shots over the top of Hinatu Kuro to win the MJ18, and then MJ15, and a big round of applause for Grayson Hearn. I think that may be his first win, actually. He's always up against some pretty stiff competition, and not that he wasn't this weekend, but after talking to his mum, I heard he played out of his skin. Burge. Big congratulations to Grayson.
Look look at the final round. So 926 rated for a guy who has a
926.
799 rating. So
Yeah,
that
and I
is
mean
$127.
he plays a lot of tournament disc golf. So like his rating is not just a new rating. It's not come out of nowhere and just been, thrown at the wall. That is his rating. So shooting 926 is massive for the young man. So congratulations to him.
Grayson.
I do also just want to shout out Grayson. He's got inter-schools lawn bowls championships coming up too in the next week or two. So let's go.
I
Let's
would.
go.
Are we going to claim that we are an influence on this young fella?
Yeah, his
Like
mum
role
already told
models,
us it was
maybe
us,
role
mate. It's all
models.
good. Yeah, the role models. You like that little inside joke? I like it. All right, that's Lords and Ladies of Lismore, where the Hunter brothers take down first and second place in the MPO, and I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do this weekend. And speaking of this weekend, we're going to head over to the Sweet Chain Tipping, where we'll go to the Generation Open to start things up. And I'm just going to open it on my page too. There we go. Daniel Hunter coming in at odds of 2.1 Burge for the win, 1.1 on the placement odds, with his brother Jamie in third, Jin in fourth. Adam Rhymes in fifth. Is that the dark horse of the division that could take out this win on his home course? Home built course, I
It
should say.
depends on tomorrow night, to be honest.
Well, it is his birthday this weekend, and I take no responsibility for anything that happens to him.
Yeah. Look, home course, but it is just the normal course, Like how much has Adam gone out
It
there?
is.
And Adam loves a good chuck. And
He does.
but look, Daniel, Jamie, they're on fire at the moment. They live around the corner. Surely.
Yeah. It's a tough one, right? And Jin Kato hasn't actually played that course ever. So Sweet Chain Tippers, and I'm only just, well, now that I'm saying this out loud, I've realised I've put a lot of money on Jin for this weekend. a lot of chump change, it might seem. No, Jin can play really good on any course that's like that. So I'd love to see him come out on top. But you're right, he's going to be up against it with Daniel and Jamie. Going down to MA1.
Sneaky dark horse with Kyle.
No, one lower than that. One lower than Kyle.
There's
your dark horse, mate. There's your dark horse. Going down into MA1 and this weekend's MA1 champ, Joel Maunder, coming in at odds of 4.7, followed by Dwan Fisher and Logan McCarthy. I think that is a very good battle. Dwan coming down from Christchurch. I'm assuming he's still up Christchurch way. Very good player. Joel coming off the back of a win this weekend at Lords and Ladies.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how MA1 plays out here. I mean, you could actually go pretty far down that list where you could see a sneaky dub coming from basically anyone here. You said before that Lords and Ladies of Lismore is not a birdie race. This is a birdie race.
It's a birdie race, yeah. Look,
absolutely. Don't get it twisted. This is a birdie race this weekend.
My money's going to go on Riley, to be honest. He knows the course well.
I like that.
Yeah.
He does. He's played really well there over the years. He snuck himself in a really good hole-in-one on hole 17 one year that got him on to, I think it was
Simon's.
Ricky or Simon. Yeah, Simon's Instagram.
Yeah.
Shot of the week.
Yeah.
He's really good around those parts. He's from that area kind of too, Twizel-ish.
Cool. Nice.
So he spent a lot of time up around there.
Yeah.
And then we'll head down to MA40 where we've got Calvin Cummings over Gregor Brosnan and Mark Paku, Burge. That's an interesting one, right? Like Gregor's been the person that, at least me, I like to bet on Gregor every week like I do on Tebs.
Mm-hmm.
But Calvin's been up there a lot recently. He's been practicing. He's been making these videos of how to play the course. He's going to study his own videos. He's going to watch the tape. I think that's 5.5 to win. I think that's good odds.
I mean, Gregor's one of those guys that you also said you'd never bet against him until he loses. But like Calvin, there's a couple of sneakies in here, like Ben Murray, Dwan Waniti. Dwan is a fucking good player. Sorry, it's Dwayne, not Dwan. I just used to seeing the other guy. He's a bloody good player. Yeah, but some sneaky money going to come in, and a fella that's a few tiers down from there. Oh no, I'm playing MA2. Sorry.
Well, I'll tell you what. Right as we're talking about it, I have just stuck some coins on Mr. Calvin Cumming because I do believe he is going to take it down this weekend. I'll put that out there to you guys. You can make your own mind up on where your money is going. But then we head down to FA40, where his better half, Marie Cummings, is the hot favourite coming into here, odds of 2.2, 3.1 for Janine Frost, 6.5 and 14.4 for Jessica and Deborah. David Frost, 7.8 odds to win in MA2, followed by Tyler McCarron and Isaac Loyal. The odds makers really do favour David here. I'd be interested to look at some stats to see why. Yeah.
Mikey Dahlstrom.
Mikey Dahlstrom. Don't even tell them, mate. Don't even tell them. But, again, Mikey likes a beer. If he comes on Friday, we'll have to see. Mr. Burgess coming in at odds of 27.6, just over his good mate, Alan Megatron at 36.2. Any outside money on those two?
Yeah, we need to screenshot that, send it through to him right now, and tell him where the smart money is. There.
All right. And then looking at the FA2 division, Brooke McCarthy coming in at odds of 3.8 over Nikki Dalloway, Alicia Maybe, Lee McDonald, and Lavina Marcotten all coming in at odds of 5.4. Would you be betting anything down there? Would you feel confident betting in that division?
I
would. I'm going to put 126 on Brooke McCarthy right now.
Right now? Okay. Yep.
Done. I'm a man of the people. I'll put my money out there right now.
Maybe I'll bet on Alicia. Maybe.
Just maybe? All right. We're going to head over to our other tournament that is happening this weekend. And guys, if you're coming to Generation Open this week, and I look forward to seeing you. Please drive safe. You can get a bed for the night on Friday. You can get a bed for the night on Saturday. There's plenty of accommodation available at the lodge. It is Adam Rhymes' birthday this weekend, so we are going to celebrate that after the tournament on Saturday. So we'd love for you to stick around and enjoy some festivities with us. The other thing that I am going to say, guys, on Lake Oho, is Wahi Tapu.
Yep.
That registration opens this Sunday, Burge. Pretty excited for that one. It's always a good time of year when we get to open up the Wahi Rego and start seeing the people signing up and who's going to be with us this year. And the skins match, Burge, the skins match.
Yeah.
You mentioned it before. You were in the skins match, not last year, but the year before, where you lost a bunch of money to Kelvin.
Yes.
That is back again this year. And one of the spots is going to be given away on the show, Sweet Chain Live, on May the 22nd. So only a couple of weeks away. We're going to give away a spot on the show, probably via a duck race. And that's going to be with all the names of anyone that signs up until about 8 p.m. the night of the 22nd of May. So if you want a chance to get into that skins match, which is $100 a hole for 9 holes, with $200 on the last hole, so $1,000 total.
Cool.
Sign yourself up for Wahi Tapu this Sunday, or at least over the next week or so, and get yourself into that duck race, because that will be given away on the show on the 22nd. Right.
Dystopia.
Over to Dystopia. Fetch tournament details.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Davey Burge coming in at odds of 2.7 over Johnny Wake at 3.5 and Ben Morrison at 8.7. How do you feel about those odds?
Look, he beat Andy Davey, beat out Johnny Wake and Simon Feasy and whatnot at the Brook Park Brave.
Sure did.
So he's quite rightly the favourite there, but I still love Johnny, and Johnny did he get his invite to Amworld? I assume he's going. So he's warming.
All of those invites have just gone out recently, so I'm going to assume that he did. Yeah.
No, cool. So, but there's a name down there that I reckon could be a sneaky for a top 3, and that's not even a sneaky. Matt Broughton. I'm pretty sure he's a Masterton local. So
okay.
Yeah. I might check a sneaky place bet on there, I think. Good 360.
All right, that's there you go. That's Matty Broughton for everyone else that wants to put a little bit of money on that.
Yeah.
Bolster the odds up. We'll head down to FPO, where Hannah Edmonds is the 2.0 odds favourite over Michaela Kerr at 2.1. So the odds team could barely separate those two. It's basically a coin flip, and whoever is going to come into the weekend feeling just right and looking for that win,
it's awesome.
It's quite likely going to take that one down, right?
Yeah. I'm just not used to not seeing Michaela as favourite. But I mean, she's almost
Yep.
favourite, right? So
It's
yeah.
0.1. It's same, but different, right? Blair joins over Marlo Bauer and Stanley Morris in MP40. 2.6 on Blair, actually, and 2.6 on Marlo.
Mhm.
I don't know Marlo, but I do know Blair.
Mm.
And I'm surprised to not know Marlo, but him still have the same odds as Blair. He must be a really good player then, because Blair is a beast.
Yeah. No, welcome.
Yeah. Cannon Larson, MA1, odds of 1.9. Hot favourite. Hot
Odd
favourite
favourite.
Verge over Max Joubert and Devon Taylor.
Yeah.
5.2 on Max, 7.7 on Devon. The odds speak for themselves in this one. Cannon, the hot favourite, and it'll take a little bit of beating to get him out of there.
Cool.
Caitlin McLeod coming in FA1. Oh, sorry, Katie Hoffman and Caitlin McLeod. Dead even odds, 2.0. Coin flip, you guys make your own mind up. MA40 sees Gary Jarvis with a massive 5.1 difference in the odds over Mr. Ryan Kiddo. Phil McLeod, another 1.4 behind Ryan, and then Jason Packer. What do you think about this division, mate? Obviously, the best division. I'll speak for Matt here.
I
MA40,
bring
the
the
best division.
experience here. I've never met Ryan, funnily enough, but know a lot
Really?
about him.
Good dude. Yeah.
Gary, I met, stayed with him in Topor alongside Phil. And man, I'd love to see Phil win one of these. But Gary
100%.
is class. Like he's I'll call him the Russell King or Stu Gilchrist of the North Island. Needs to get the heck out of my division. That sort
You
of
calling
that
him a
sort of.
sandbagger?
No. He's probably. I mean, am I calling Russ
Joking.
and Stu?
Joking. Love you, Russ. Love you, Stu.
Anyway,
Oh,
yeah.
goodness me. Yep. FA40, Kath Headley, sorry, in a division of her own. Sean Ashford over Wyatt Brazil, 3.3 over the 5.5 of Mr. Brazil, followed up by Jeremy in third place there. Yep, don't know enough about these gentlemen to even make that call. Peter Hemstra, that's interesting. I do know a Peter Hemstra, but he is not over the age of 50, so no one I know. Debbie Mills, 1.1 odds favourite, well over the top of Eileen Doricott at 19.7 Burge, and then down into MA2, Andrew Lecoq, 4.8 over KJ Carrick, Ezra Morrison, Matt Drake.
Great. Playing MA2. Oh, he said he was going to because he wanted to play different tees, didn't he?
He did.
Um,
It's exactly
yeah,
what he said.
different
Yeah.
trees and Brett Carlisle. Like, come on, mate. I know you're in the chat. Come on, mate. Nah. I'm wondering if these tees don't have any trees, and that's why Brett Carlisle wants to play down there. I've got to rub in some
Maybe.
salt whenever I can, right? So there might be
That's
some
fair.
sneaky money coming into the MA2 for me. KJ Carrick's class. He came down to the Classic. Do you
He is.
remember him?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Yeah, and did pretty well down there. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, no, looks like a good competitive division. MA2 is
Yeah.
becoming a really competitive division, eh? Like I mean, it's been like that for a while, but there's some good
Yeah,
disc
for sure.
golfers
Well,
in there.
there is, and they're disc golfers that and how do I say this? They're meant to be an MA2, and I'm trying to say this without
Yeah,
sounding mean or anything about it. There's guys in MA2 that are staying at MA2, and it's the right division for them, and it's creating such a great battle every single time they step out there, right?
yeah, definitely. So it's so that is a nice that is a real good competitive top half of whatever that division is anyway. But good luck to Matt.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure. MA3 sees Dane Williamson, Sean Lincoln, then tough I cannot pronounce his last name.
Tiana.
Go Burge. Thank you,
Tiana.
sir. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Odds on favourite, Dane Williamson at 7.0. Headed down into FA3, Susan Patterson, Rochelle Carrick, and Audra Mason, 2.2, 2.6, and 5.8. And then MJ18, another division that is only a 3 deep, but man, there's some good players in these divisions these days. Finton Reich over Kieran McLeod and Braden McLeod, 1.7 over the 3.8 and 6.0.
The
That's
McLeods are
your
the
tipping.
McLeods the Tweedies of the North Island, or are the Tweedies the McLeods of the South Island?
You know
Let's
what?
start a little bit. Let's start a little bit of
Make that.
rivalry. Um,
Yeah, I'll let you make that decision, bro. Right. So now that we've gone through all of this, we're going to go and rack our own minds. We don't have Latitude 64's Matt Drake on board, but we're going to head over to some Disc Tool. And since you are the incoming guest this week, the guest host, I will allow you to please go first.
Oh, I'm gonna go just real dumb, real stupid, and go full tilt. Full tilt. Oh, they don't have a tilt. Oh, that's the greatest disc known to man. Okay, let's go with an eagle then. An eagle, an Innova eagle.
You didn't want to just go tilt? Or was that not an option?
Wasn't an option. No.
Sorry. I had to look away for 1 second there because the work phone started going, but thankfully it's not needed right now. Right, so we are Discmania. We are a
Innova.
higher speed.
Innova.
Sorry, Innova
Yeah.
rather. Higher speed.
Just.
I'm just going to bring the YouTube up because I cannot even see that screen, unfortunately. 1 second.
So
Higher speed Innova. I'll just go straight into a Shrike just to stop the show from
it's a little
lagging
bit
behind.
too much, but that's fine. A shrike.
Shrike.
Yeah.
SHRYKE. I
Mm,
started spelling that out and I was like, that doesn't sound like a real word.
Hang higher fade.
Oh, it's
So,
within 3.
yeah.
Sorry,
So
guys. I was reloading my YouTube.
It's a beefy 9 speed. What's the beefy 9 speed?
Oh, beefy 9-speed Innova. How beefy are we talking here?
A 4 plus.
Oh, 4 plus.
Yeah.
Let me look on the wall of shame over here. I have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's probably
Firebird.
a Firebird.
Yeah.
It's probably a Firebird. You guys couldn't hear that, but producer Tom is there helping out in the background.
Firebird. There you go.
Yeah, nice one. Firebird. I do have one in the bag as well. I don't know why that didn't come to me. I've got my nice flat top one in the bag. Right, that's Distal over and done with. Hope you guys have been playing a bit of Disc Golf Valley this week. We did prompt it at the start of the show. And let's bring the results up on the screen right now. Right. Here we are. Tom, can you just make your voice known to the people and read that out because I genuinely can't see it.
All right.
I can.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We have the wonderful Arn at 2 over.
Don't even look.
We've got a few people who haven't completed their rounds. I'm not sure what that's about. We've got Morgan at a 5 under.
Yep.
I myself 1 over. And then we've got Blindside at 7 under. So I think that's Ian. And we've got
Ian, yeah.
another 1 under there. So congratulations, Ian. I think that's your second win.
Boom. Well done. We should really be taking a tally of this, right? And I know we can go back through the episodes and find out. But we should be taking an end of season tally on how many wins someone can get. I wish there was a way you could make. Yeah, exactly. I wish there was a way you could make it where you can't leave the group and come back in, Burge.
100%.
One round max.
1 round max.
I do love Disc Golf Valley. I jump on there probably about 11 o'clock every night when I get into bed and just have a quick game.
Yep.
And then I throw my phone to the side and pass out. Yeah. Right, guys, as we did at the top of the show, I would love to just remind everybody to please like, follow, subscribe the show. We don't have our true leader, Matt Drake, with us tonight, but Burge has been very kind to join me, hold down the fort, and it's been an absolute pleasure having him on as well. We're not ending the show here, but I just want to remind you the support that we have from people like Arn that can step in at a minute's notice and help us out with the show means a lot. Matt and I are here every week, and we love seeing you guys in the chat, having the conversations, going backwards and forwards on any content that we're going over every week. And we just want to continue to do what we do, raise the bar higher and higher every week, month and year and year. So we want to be around. We want to be around for a long time. And if you want to support us in that little mission that we're on, we also have our Patreon. So you'll see the link. Tom will put the link in the chat for our Patreon. But that's another way that you can support us to grow the channel, and we would be forever grateful. Anything from you, Burge, that we may have missed off of the show so far?
We're going to go through power rankings, or do we want to...
Aha.
I've got one thing that I'd like to chat about, but
Yep.
seeing as
Yep.
you shouted out Waihi Tapu, Sub-Zero's open for registration.
Yes.
First weekend of July. I am going tomorrow on my way to Oho to scope my new course. We're going to make some changes there, but yeah, registration's open. Welcome to come back. I'm going to reserve some restaurant space for us in the restaurant. We're going to head in and watch the All Blacks in the evening, and yeah. So that's there. And just a note there as well, I will be for that. We're going to do a must go Ace Kitty. So if the Ace Kitty if the Ace is not hit, everyone that puts into the Ace Kitty will go into a duck race at the end during prize giving.
We do love a duck race.
We do
don't
love
we?
a duck race because yeah. So that's what we're going to do.
Can I make a side note on that,
Yep.
Burge?
Yep.
To win the duck race,
Yep.
you must be there at the end of prize
Must
giving.
be there at prize giving. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of people do like to get on the road at the end of the tournaments, Burge. I mean, you did it last weekend. You've obviously got a very young family to get back to, and to help Mumsy out with.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to guarantee
I think she's going to kill me for calling her Mumsy. I'm sorry, Bex.
She's not still watching, trust me. We're gonna. So the way that I've structured the tournament, we're going to ensure, because it is Umarama, so it is a wee way from everywhere. Everyone's going to be back on the road by 2:30 in the afternoon, so should be able to get back to most places in good time.
Yep. No, nice one, mate. Yeah, guys, Sub-Zero, fantastic tournament. I've been going for 2 or 3 years now. It's one of my favorites to get up to, so yeah, get amongst it.
Power rankings.
Right, power rankings to basically round out the show. Let's bring that up on the screen, Mr. Thomas. Perfect. Thank you very much.
Guess who's back?
Back again. Haley's back. Tell your friends. Haley taking down the top spot. She's moved up 3 to take out Alison Tweedy, Michelle and Amy there. Alison coming in second, Michelle third, Amy fourth.
Awesome.
I don't know if I'm surprised by this or not. I feel like Haley's always there or thereabouts, but she hasn't had a bunch of wins recently. Or am I wrong on this? Have I just got short-term memory?
I think she's had a couple, but look, she's just got people pushing her. And so, I mean, Sylvan's a bit older now. He gets around the course pretty independently. So maybe we'll start to see the Haley of old now that Sylvan's, that they're able to manage him a little bit better and not have to have someone look after them and be a mum in one side of your brain and play disc golf in another side of your brain. So,
yeah, for sure. No, pretty awesome to see Haley right back up at the top of the list again. She's been New Zealand's #1 player for probably the longest amount of time over any other lady that I could name. Right off the top of my head. So yeah, awesome to see her back at the top spot. Let's jump over into the men's, please, Thomas. Gonna refresh my page. He's moved up. Yeah, he's moved up 2 spots. Francis has gone down 2 spots, and everyone else you see down till the 8th position has stayed where they were beforehand. Levi leading us off, Simon, then Daniel in 3rd. That's pretty awesome, right? For someone who was probably unknown to the masses until very, very recently.
Yeah, he's been playing a lot of MA1 up until this season, even this side of the year, I believe. So I'm pretty sure he was MA1 for Waihi Tapu last year. So that wasn't that long ago. So well done, Mr. Hunter.
Yeah. For sure, that's Haley and Daniel, probably your biggest 2 movers. Not going up massive spaces, but getting into really important positions on the pole. So yeah, congratulations to those 2. Burge, I don't think I have anything else. You know what? We've been here for just on an hour and a half. We haven't sunk the ship. I think we've done an all right job without our leader and Matt Drake. We do look forward to having him back next week. But I want to thank you for joining us.
Cheers, mate.
And I'm not going to steal Matt's outro. All I'm going to say is, guys, have a fantastic week. I hope to see a bunch of you at Generation Open this weekend. and wherever you're playing disc golf. See you guys. Have a nice weekend.